How you doing? Bulletinman, joining you on this, we'll call this one Friday, February 10th. It's area code 212. I said, hey, this is Mr. Rhythm and Blues. We on the cat was old. He said, at least the cat was cold. He said, don't call us now, we'll call you. Yeah, that is a group called Sugarloaf. Don't call us, we'll call you. And you've tuned into Kate Jeff, actually the Bulletinman video broadcast. And we're going to actually date this one Friday, February 10th, 2012. I have to say happy birthday to my first wife, Nicole, who was born on February 10th, and my last wife, Judith, who was born on February 10th. Isn't that ironic? So anyway, happy birthday, Judy. I love you very much. And Nicole, I wish you a happy birthday as well. Okay, well, today is a great day for me. Actually, it should be my birthday present because I got a heck of a present today. I really don't even know where to begin. This is going to go out to my friend Mr. Smith at the Commission for Retirement, Removal, and Discipline of Judges. I filed a complaint against Judge Stephen Bouchard of Cunningham, Rayfield, and Bouchard law firm. Stephen became judge, I believe, in 2007. He ran for judge in the 2006 election, I think. And Judge Bouchard believes that he can violate just about every canon there is in the judicial rule book or canon book or whatever it is. Like they go by rules anyway. But there are actually rules, Mr. Smith, and I guess you're aware of that. I know that you haven't censored many judges over the years, and there was articles of impeachment filed last month against a judge in Adair County, and with what I hold in my hand, I would certainly hope that we could have articles of impeachment filed against Mr. Bouchard or some sort of action taken, because in his own words, thou art snared with the words of thy own mouth. On cause number 09JECR01761, Mr. Bouchard has written a order from his court, and I did go on case to make sure the case was legitimate, because it was just like too crazy. I thought that perhaps some wayward lawyer, a disgruntled lawyer, might have wrote this and taken the time to sit down and write this, but my goodness gracious, it seems like it is legitimate. And Stephen Bouchard, I certainly apologize if you actually didn't write this, but I've got to believe that you did. Because it is kind of self-serving, but it is very telling of the whole situation in Hillsborough. Folks, we got big problems, and you actually have a few lawyers out there who have some morals and ethics and really care about the integrity of the court. Imagine that in this day and age. Isn't that crazy? But in my hands, I hold this order written on this case, and last month I wrote a bulletin about the great scam, which confirms all what I wrote about that too. But it's 6 pages, and I think I'm just going to read the whole thing to you if I could get some peace. One of the dogs has just came in the room. Yeah, it's Trooper. You guys remember Trooper? Come here, Trooper. You can get on camera here. Oh, look at Trooper. Trooper is a big boy now. Yes, he is. Remember when Trooper was about that big? Trooper was born in 2010, and now Trooper is just huge. Trooper had a cleft palate, still does have a cleft palate. A litter, one of 7, who survived. He's the Trooper, and Trooper is doing wonderful now. So I guess Trooper's going to hang out with me while I read this. On November 18th of 2009, defendant was charged by amended information with driving while suspended under Section 303.370.3 of the revised Missouri statutes. Oh my goodness gracious, what a heinous crime to be sentenced for. Driving while suspended. My goodness, do you even need to have a license to travel in this country? Well, that's a whole nother video broadcast. As part of his probation, Okay, imposition. He had an SIS, which is called an imposition sentence, was suspended, and the defendant was placed on 2 years unsupervised probation. As part of his probation, the defendant was required to register with the Regis, an electronic monitoring system that notifies a provider of any law enforcement contact, commonly referred to as a hit. I wonder what they're hitting. Tammy Berg-Newman of Private Probation Services of Jefferson County was responsible for the defendant's Regis monitoring. My goodness, we got to monitor people driving while suspended. Private Probation Services of Jefferson County, PPSJC, provides the Circuit Court of Jefferson County numerous services. Oh, really? These services include, but are not limited to, supervised probation of certain misdemeanor probationers, pre-trial supervision of certain defendants charged with misdemeanor or felony offenses. So much for being innocent until being proven guilty, huh? Arranging for drug and alcohol evaluations of defendants on probation, scram monitoring, drug testing, ETG testing, whatever that is, GPS monitoring, and house arrest. Miss Berg-Newman is the managing officer of PPSJC. I wonder who actually owns PPSJC. They ought to look into that. It says she's the managing officer. It doesn't actually say that she's the owner now, does it? Ms. Berg-Newman is directly responsible to the Circuit Court and is considered an officer of the court. I thought only members of the bar could be considered officers of the court. Well, maybe not. Are clerks officers of the court? My goodness gracious, that's a whole other can of worms. But anyway, Ms. Berg-Newman and PPSJC have been providing these services to the Circuit Court of Jefferson County since before I took the bench on January 1st of 2007. Ms. Berg-Newman is well respected by this court. Her caseload includes well in excess of 1/2 of all defendants under the either supervised release or private probation in the 23rd Judicial Circuit. Maybe we ought to call the Antitrust Division of the United States Department of Justice. I get their emails all the time, and they've got like 15, 20 antitrust cases cooking every day. I would think that maybe would qualify, along with numerous other things, because I'm only not even off the first page of this yet. The responsibilities of private probation services in Jefferson County for Regis monitoring do not involve merely reporting to the court a Regis hit, but also to investigate the circumstances surrounding the hit and then report to the court. This process frequently requires the PPSJC secure police reports concerning the hit, and in some circumstances an interview of the defendant concerning the police contact. The results of the investigation are reported to the court and the prosecutor. This review process allows the court to make an informed decision on whether it appears that a defendant has in fact violated this probation as opposed to proceeding merely upon a bare report of arrest. Pursuant to 599.036.5 of the revised Missouri statutes, the court may, on its own motion, enter an order to suspend a defendant's probation and order a warrant for the defendant's arrest. I always thought a judge in a court was there to basically judge between the facts presented by the prosecutor and the facts presented by the defense to determine whether or not a crime has been committed. Not merely a contact or a hit with the Regis system or law enforcement system. Okay, but nonetheless, I mean, that was just my impression of how things should work. On December 8th of 2010, the PPSJC filed a Regis report of the arrest with the court and prosecutor advising the defendant was arrested on October 14th, 2010 for violation of Missouri's controlled substance law. My goodness, another major offense. PPSJC further advised that the defendant did not contact PPSJC regarding the arrest as required by the Regis hit notification contract. Oh my goodness. And probably didn't pay him either. Where's our money, PP? That's all they're concerned about. Private probation services recommended the defendant be placed on supervised probation with random drug testing, and he complete a drug and alcohol evaluation, then follow recommended treatment. Even more money. On or shortly before December 28, 2010, the court met with Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Melissa Paris, P-E-R-R-I-S. Police reports from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department concerning the events of October 14, 2010 were reviewed. Ms. Paris made an oral request that the defendant's probation be suspended and a capious warrant issued for his arrest. By order dating December 28, 2010, the court suspended the defendant's probation because of the alleged violations of law: trespassing, stealing, and violation of stealing, and violation of Missouri's controlled substance law. A no bond capious warrant was issued for the defendant's arrest on December 30th, 2010. Happy New Year's Eve! Happy New Year to you, Mr. Defendant. I didn't even name the defendant. I don't even think I have to name the defendant, to be quite honest with you, but maybe you'll figure it out by the time we get there. All you got to do is just go to CaseNet and type the case number in. Okay, where am I at here? Okay, so Happy New Year. You've got now a no bond issued capious warrant issued by Judge Bouchard. Judge Bouchard obviously is not familiar with the clause in the United States Constitution and Bill of Rights that says no unreasonable search and seizure or no warrant. Oh my goodness. On January 4th, 2011, Private Probation Services of Jefferson County filed a supplemental report with the court and prosecuting attorney advising that the Regis hit showed that Mr. Schaefer has wanted out of Jefferson County. Well, I guess it was supposed to be was wanted out of Jefferson County for burglary. First, and according to the Jefferson County Jail summary, Mr. Schaefer had been taken into custody on the 23rd day. And Mr. Schaefer was wanted out of Baldwin for burglary in the second on the as of 12/29 of 10. That according to a family member of Mr. Schaefer's, I just gave you his name, he was taken into custody on he was taken into custody on December 30th of 2010 by the Baldwin Police, and private probation had requested and was awaiting the incident reports from the Baldwin and Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. The court, by email with a copy to the prosecutor, asked that the Private Probation Services of Jefferson County provide copies of the reports to the court, and prosecution, upon receipt of the copies of the reports, were filed with the court on or shortly after January 19th. On January 12th, Ms. Berg Newman sent an email communicating to the court and Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Melissa Paris stating, Your Honor, Stephen. Why don't you just call him by your first name? Hey, Steve. I'm very concerned about this defendant. According to his mother, there is a concern he will get out of jail and go on a homicidal killing spree because of his desperate state of mind, facing, a year in jail for stealing a couple things and violating Missouri's Controlled Substance Act. And remember, us all started by driving while suspended. He's a desperate state of mind. Mother claims the defendant has multiple firearms. According to Lieutenant Murray of the Ellisville Police Department, he was investigated for burglaries in 2 months, suspecting Schaefer as the perp. Officer Husky with the Valley Park PD arrested Schaefer on December 1st for possession of pseudoephedrine with the intent to distribute. Never mind, you can buy pseudoephedrine at the store. Oh my goodness. According to Schaefer's mother, Schaefer is using meth and heroin. My goodness gracious. If such trauma. Schaefer's using meth and heroin. Mother claims that Schaefer resides with GF, I guess that's girlfriend, Shana Nelson, and is using drugs also. Is involved in break-ins, and mother turned defendant into PD when she discovered stolen checks from her cousin and cousin's neighbor. This agency just received a Regis hit from the Ellisville Police Department as an active warrant for a wanted person on felony burglary 2 and MSD and warrant for theft of less than $500. The court responded to this by this email communication that notes of her concern would be made in the Division 12 probation file and in custody summary. The court maintains probation files on certain defendants who are under private supervised probation and in some cases on pretrial supervision. So how can you be on any pretrial supervision if you have not had a trial yet? These files hold Regis reports of arrest, probation violations reports, materials not suitable or appropriate for inclusion in the regular public access court file. So they're keeping secret star chamber files on people, including some Regis reports of arrest, probation violation, and case review reports, supplemental violation reports such as quoted from above, drug and alcohol evaluations, psychiatric evaluations, results of drug and alcohol screens, and other reports subject to HIPAA disclosure limitations. Really? So you're violating federal law too? Is that what you're saying? No, actually, I think he's saying we're going to take it all the way up to where the HIPAA comes in. I don't know. These files are available to defense counsel for review upon request. Oh, really? Do they know they're even there to request them? If they are, what are they called? Maintains probation files on certain defendants, and that are secret files, perhaps. They're not subject to regular public access. So I guess that would be secret files. Does the defense even know of these files? Oh, my goodness. They are kept in separate probation files, just as reports for the Missouri Department of Probation and Parole have always been kept in separate probation files. Mr. Schaefer's probation file contains the above described violation reportedly received from Ms. Berg, including the email of 1/12/11, which clearly should not have been and was not included in the public access court file. The court email responses described above. The police reports filed with the court by the PPSJC, Private Probation Services of Jefferson County, and the police report concerning the events of October 14, 2010. On January 18, 2011, the court authorized the Office of Public Defender to enter on behalf of the defendant. On January 19, 2011, Linda Freeman, Assistant Public Defender, entered as the attorney for the defendant. Okay. Well, God bless Miss Linda Freeman, because Miss Freeman asserts in her motion that the court recused itself, that the court had improperly secured information concerning the defendant through its own investigation from outside sources completely independent from either party. This is simply not the case. My goodness gracious. This information was presented to the court by Private Tammy Berg Newman, acting in her capacity as an officer of the court according to her responsibilities to the court. The information was necessary so the court could determine whether probation revocation proceedings should be initiated, their seriousness which the court should view the alleged violation, the manner by which the action should proceed, and conditions should be considered in setting terms for the defendant's release. Had Ms. Berg-Newman withheld this information from the court, set forth in her report as of January 12th, such would have been a serious breach of her responsibilities and obligations to the court. What about her responsibilities and obligations to her? If she's an officer of the court, then does she not have to uphold the Constitution as well? Jesus, help me. Anyway, that's all I'm going to share for now. We're going to do part 2 because I really don't know where we're at on this as far as this tape is concerned. But I think with what I just read, my goodness gracious, what do you say? Mr. Smith, can we get a judge fired now? This is his own admission, his own stuff. I mean, we only got 2 more pages to go. Let's see what the time is on this. Maybe I can just rush through this. Oh, no. We're at 18 minutes. We're way too long. I love you. You have a great evening. Judge Bouchard, do yourself a favor. Just quit. Resign. Yeah, I love you, Stephen. I really do. But unfortunately, I believe you violated just about everything you could violate here. And I'm more than halfway done. Well over halfway done, I should say. Well over 70% of the way done. But we'll conclude later on. As always, I ask you to tell a friend about the one and only Bulletinman. And that is me, Jeffrey R. Whitehouse. And if you need to call me, you got more problems with the court, I'd love to hear from you. 314-800-3652. God bless you. Have a great day. And as always, tell a friend about me. I am the one and only Bulletinman. You have a great evening. See ya. Love you, Steve.